afternoon, and of course, you're welcome to Voters Education, a program that is designed to enlighten, inform, and educate Deltans on the importance of the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise. And with me this wonderful afternoon to dissect something that is very, very critical, especially as we sit towards 2027, is the man called Mr. Onoha, and of course he is the HOD in charge of ICT, Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, Delta State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And of course I have with me here, I love it. I love balancing it gender friendly. They call me the gender friendly man. I have with us here also another big wing in INEC Delta State. She is Nse Abasi, HOD, Voters Education and Information and Publicity. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And of course, this is actually your feed.
Yes.
And I believe Oga here have to play his role because you are the one doing the education and
yes.
he's the one providing the facility, which is the ICT.
Yes.
So let's get down to business because a lot of Deltans will want to know what this program is meant for. And of course, like I said, it's actually meant to educate, inform, and educate you on the need for you to be very, very much involved in the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise. So I'll start with you, Mrs. Nse Abasi. Tell us what exactly is continuous voters registration exercise?
Thank you very much. Continuous voter education is an enlightenment program that INEC has set aside is a nationwide program and Delta is inclusive. The exercise is to sensitize the people on the way for them to go out and exercise their franchise by a way of registration. And there's procedures in doing this. INEC has set up a procedure for every citizen to get himself or herself registered. You must be 18 years and above for you to be able to get yourself registered. You must be in Nigeria. You must be ready to go according to the guidelines that these two amongst others that I've said that will make you must present yourself physically to the registrants for you to be able to register and get your voter's card ahead of 2027 general elections.
Okay, of course, having given us much intro to that, I will come to the man in charge of the information communication technology in your department so that you just have a little breather because I have much for you. And to you, Mr. Onoha, why did INEC introduce the online registration option and how does it differ from the traditional physical registration?
Thank you. We've been in, first of all, I want to thank you. The last time I was here was in 2022, the previous CVRO exercise. And the faces I'm seeing now, not the faces I saw there. Yeah, like we all know, the continuous voters registration exercise is something that is, supported by law. INEC has to do it. It is an all-inclusive something to make sure that nobody is left out. Like she said, you must be 18 years. That means every day somebody is turning 18.
Yeah.
So if you do it once and say you're not going to do it next year, that means there are a lot of people you cut off. Some people will be disenfranchised. So that's why we call it continuous voter registration exercise. And because we have not placed the machine in every corner, every unit of the state. So to make registration easier for people is to introduce the online registration so that our facilities will not be overcrowded. Imagine if we don't have that, maybe you go to the office, see everybody coming, the whole place will cry, and when you come, maybe you spend over 20 minutes just trying to register. To make the life easier for you, since almost everybody have an Android, 80% of us are, IT. Even if you are not, you could actually manage a little bit of using of Android. So we put a platform on the Android where you can start the process. You can start the process. You do all the processes from your comfort of your home. When you finish, just at the point you are going to do your biometrics, that is when you now appear in person. So that if you are doing it, all those things that you come to the office, I'll tell you what's your name, which local government, which ward, which all this other one. You would have on your own done it, know your local government, you know the ward, you know the unit, you have done all those other things. When it gets to the point that they want you to now do your biometrics, of course, you now have to come in physically where you do your thumbprint and will capture your pictures. So that's why we now introduce that online to make it easier for even those coming and for even our staff that is carrying out that registration.
All right, of course, for you Deltans actually watching now, you definitely know you can now do that at the comfort of your home. Just get your Android phone, and of course, even your laptop, you can do the registration, just like what Mr. Onowa just said. All you have to do is follow the right process. And I think this is where I will ask Mr. Onowa to also avail of, because sometimes when ICT, when information are given out like this, some person don't actually have the current or the real websites to go to get registered, and this has been the reason why some of them end up either doing wrong registration, or probably they end up somebody else registering them, and of course giving them another name and of course another location. So can you avail to us the appropriate website to go for this registration?
Yeah, it's very simple. A lot of people are already doing that. So it's just cvro.inecnigeria.org.
Okay, cvro.inec.nigeria.org is a website, the right website to go and of course get registered.
You
All
can
right.
also get it on cvro.inecnigeria.ng.
NG,
Any
okay.
of them.
All right, .org.ng is the same. So I'll go back to Mrs. Abasi and Mrs. Abasi. Right now, what information or documents are required to complete the online pre-registration?
Thank you very much. Well, there's no any document to back it up.
Okay.
Because you are free, you go there, present yourself physically to the registrant who is there to get your information there and there for you to be able to register. You give your information, your details as you are there. It's not required anything for you to take to Inec office. You go there by yourself, physically present, for them to take your biometrics and all the information needed.
Okay. All right, of course.
Yeah, hold on. Even at that point.
No, don't worry. I have something for you. Okay, you can go on for I.
Only to support what you're saying, there could be, we could have issues where we want to verify, like you could come, I will be thinking that this child is not really up to 18 years. When we have such doubt, we can now tell you, do you have any evidence? Then bring your birth certificate or anything to prove that you are that age.
Okay.
Or if there are, probably you tell me your name is Kofi, and I know the Kofi doesn't sound Nigerian, there's anything we're in doubt, we can ask, okay, are you a Nigerian? Can you show us a copy, anything that, will validate that you are actually a Nigerian, whether you have done your naturalization or change your nationality, there should be a document. So unless when we have such this, that is when we require you to produce a document to validate your claim.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for clearing that, especially on document that is needed, because some persons feel that they would say, I went to Inec office to get my registration, and they told me to come back and bring a document. So we actually have to inform, like I said, and of course educate Deltans. Then I want to ask you this question, Omuha, that why is physical biometric capture still mandatory after the online registration? Because I feel after I just do my online registration, I should just walk to Inec office and then they print out the card for me and I leave. Why is physical biometric capturing still mandatory?
Yeah, it is. It is very necessary. You have just come, you have done your online registration, and you came up with your slip.
Okay.
If you come up with your slip, you just print.
Okay.
You could have, we don't do it in proxy. It's possible you may have done it and given to your brother, please go there and collect my listing.
Okay.
So when you now come with it, with that your slip, we'll key in your listing. We'll tell you, okay, we'll key in your information, your proper, we'll say, okay, to validate it, you thumbprint.
Okay.
When you thumbprint, it matches and everything. So, okay, this is you. You just thumbprint and say, okay, even if you are doing transfer, in your transfer, the previous one you had already done thumbprints and everything, will have your biometrics there. So when you want to now do maybe a transfer, we also want to validate it's still you now thumbprint and it will match with the record we have in our server. It's the same person. This is that you guys grow beards. You will now find maybe when you did it first time you didn't have beard, but now you have beard. Your biometrics will still be the same. We'll look at it and say, yeah, this is actually still the same person before we approve your transfer.
Okay, you just talked about the next question I actually want to ask because you've talked about transfer. Now we've seen a situation whereby someone say, I can no longer find my voter's card, or I moved from Asaba, of course, because of the house rent in Asaba, I'm relocating to Amachai community in Opanam, and of course, I want to vote there. Now, how do I do my transfer? And also, we have a situation where, your voter card is also, your permanent voter's card is also some of the criteria that is required. Sometimes when you go to the bank and now it defaced. Now, how can this person whose voter's card have been defaced, who wants to transfer, how can he go about? And of course, without falling contrary to the Inec rule, we said that you cannot register twice because that has been the issue we've seen.
Yeah, on that transfer, you see, that's one of the reasons because time changes, time passed and people move from one place to the other. Okay. If I registered in Lagos, I'm now living in Asaba, or like you said, because of our house rent, I moved out of Asaba, and I will not expect you that the day of election to still come there because there will be movement will be restricted. So we are advised that people should now transfer their present registration to the place they will know they will be at the time of that election. So what it means is that it's just for you, like we said, in that online registration, we have several things there. You are able to do transfer, you are able to update your card, you're able to do a lot of things. Even if your card is defaced, you can now change, or even if your name is wrongly spelled, all those things, those updates are there. Okay. You do all of them on your own. Like now you want to move to Amachara, you now pick it, present place, former place, you click. Where do you want to go to? This is where I want to go to. It will choose the polling unit. You use your hand and choose the polling unit. Okay. At the point of visiting, when you finish that online, it will tell you have done and produce a slip for you. So what you now come, oh, I've done my online transfer. Please, can I validate? Will now come, oh, that transfer you did. Let me be sure that you are the one that will tell you to thumbprint. When you thumbprint, it brings out the former place you were and where you have chosen. Once you did the biometrics and capture and you are done, then we'll know that this new place that you chose is now validated.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. And of course, you're still watching the program, Voters Registration, Voters Education. And of course, we'll be right back after this breather because I still have with me here the HOD Information Communication Technology, Independent National Electoral Commission, Delta State, and of course the head of voter education, also Ms. Nse Abbas. Also, we'll be right back after this breather. Go nowhere. Welcome back. You're still watching voter education with the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec Delta State. And of course, like I told you, I have with me here the HOD ICT, Inec Delta State, and of course the HOD Voter Education and Information here also, Mrs. Nse Abbas. And of course, let's go straight to her. And madam, I want to ask, what are the consequences of multiple registration?
Thank you very much. Multiple registration is against the law. There's a law guiding the registration exercise.
Okay.
2022 Acts. So any persons found registering 2-3 times is against the law, and there's a penalty to it. There's a fine to it of 100,000, 6 months imprisonment, or both of them. So we advise that no one should get to INEC offices, even the one in Asaba here, to go and double register. That if they found you do that, you'll be penalized and you'll be charged to court.
Okay, so the HOD ICT, you are the one that at the back end, you have access to actually see this multiple registration. What do you do if someone with multiple registration comes to you, and of course you try to educate the person, and he or she tries to tell you that you cannot tell me I registered twice? How do you manage such situation?
Well, this technology. That's why we have some of this technology. That's why, like, asked me earlier, why would somebody have to come and do biometrics? So, if you have done your biometrics, it's still with us. So most times, some of them want to ask that, have you registered before? They will say no. So when we tell them put this in, when they turn print, their information props up.
Okay.
And we see, oh, yeah, so yes, I lost my card, I did it. We know you lost. If you lost your card, that's why we asked you, have you registered before? We are helping you so that you do not get yourself into electoral offenses, So since you have registered, but you now know that you are no longer there, you don't need a fresh registration. What you may need is just to transfer your registration from where you previously were to where you want to be. A lot of them are coming. We'll see that because some have lost their card. Instead of going through the process, they feel that the best way is to go and do fresh registration. And our system has a way is that if you come, the first thing we do a check. If we do a check, if you have registered before, it will come. Okay. It will pop up. Okay. But like I said, technology may have some distance. If for any reason the thing is still, some of them were able to pass. At the end of the back end, we're still going to do a check and find out if there are any of the registrants that registered twice. If we see it, we print it and we notify the person, look, we have so and so. Some of them will come, oh, sorry, it was an error, it was this thing. We'll now remove the duplicates. Because if you intentionally did it and that remains in our listing, we'll charge you for multiple registration.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so definitely, just like what you said, anybody that is involved in multiple registration will definitely be charged. And of course, that brings me to a pressing question, because when the HOD Voters Education in opening remark said that every day someone turns 18 in Nigeria. Now someone has turned 18. The question is now, what should they know? These people that have turned 18 and want to be involved in this continuous voters registration exercise, tell us what are those basic things they should know before doing their registration.
Thank you very much. Like we keep on talking on the radio, sensitizing people, going around the local government areas to tell people, and telling the stakeholders to also educate their wards. Anyone turning 18 should go to the nearby local government of his or her choice to go and register. We have registration officers across Delta states, and they will guide the person accordingly.
Okay. All right. To you, the man in charge of the ICT, we definitely know that there are some disabilities that could hinder someone from registration. For instance, someone that doesn't have a finger. Now, how can you be able to solve this issue of disabilities? And of course, we also have some who could not go to the particular place to register. What have Inec put in place to ensure that people with disabilities also can get registered?
Yeah, these are some of the things, we do not want to leave out anybody. We have special listing for people living with disability. Some of them will go to where they are. We'll take it to them. Like somebody whose disability is probably could not work and everything, we'll have a way to take the registration. We'll have where they meet. We'll tell them so and so days will be for people living with disability. At times to go, take them to the place. And there are different disabilities, like somebody all the fingers may not be complete. Yeah. The app has a place for special registration. Right. When we click on that special registration, you now, they type in the level of what kind of disability and so that you know that is it fingerprints or is it blindness and all those things. So we know how to handle all of them. The app covers all those areas. So nobody is left out on this.
Indeed, nobody is actually left out on the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise, because it is your duty and of course as a Nigerian to register, because we cannot just sit over the last 2 days. The president said election are not won on social media, and of course I said he is right, because for you to vote and be voted for, you must get registered. You have to take ample opportunity of this continuous voters registration exercise and get registered. All right, there's something that I feel that you have to actually clear, because this program is meant to inform, of course, educate Deltas, and that is the problem of after someone register. We've seen a situation whereby for years, when they ask the person, where is your PVC, we still see them bringing the slip. So how long does it take for someone to get that PVC rather than the temporary voters card? Because you just tell them, where is your PVC? They said, Inec have not brought my PVC. I have the slip here. And of course, most Nigerians, that is what we have. That is a situation we face sometimes during election. You see them going there with their temporary voters card, not the PVC. How long does it take to get this PVC?
Well, apart from the practical things that we're doing, there are also the administrative aspect of it.
Correct.
Where these PVCs are printed. And when you want to print them, you don't want to start, like we're doing this thing in batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. Okay. When INEC wants to give us this contract, they don't want to give it in batches. Okay. So that when we finish, and also what we are gathering now is raw data. After the raw data, they go at the back and they are processed. When we finish all the processes, like now, by the time we finish the first, second, and the third phase, we'll process all those data and we'll now print them. Okay. When we print them, and after printing them, they send them back to the states. At that point, we also do sensitization and tell people these cards are ready. Go to places that you registered and pick up the cards. That's one thing again. Some people are just good enough to come and do the registration. Telling them to come back and pick up their cards becomes a problem. They won't even go there. Go there, your card. There are some cards that were printed since 2022. Are still there in some local government offices. Meanwhile, the owners will come and say, I've not seen, we will not bring it to your house, but we will let you know that those cards are ready. Come to the office, go to the local government offices, the electoral officers will sort out your cards and give it to you. A lot of them have come, but we see a few that have not collected their own since 2022. So what we are telling debtors is that you have done the registration now, After that, wait. At the time the cards are ready, we'll also come back like we are here now and tell you that your cards are ready, and we'll tell you where you can locate your cards. Even at that time, we have online plan. You can even go online and check. When you type your VIN number and everything, it will tell you where your card is, which local government your card is, where to go and collect it. So those processes will come. When we do that, we will inform Deltas too that it's not just registering. Go and pick up your PVC.
Okay. Yeah, you just mentioned the VIN number, and that is another problem a lot of persons face. They said when you tell them check your VIN number, they said I don't know my VIN number. Can you tell us where that VIN number is located, either in the temporary or in the permanent voters card?
It is both on the temporary,
okay,
and also the permanent voters card.
Okay, so
once you give you that your DC, you just see it boldly printed. You see your name, you see the barcode, you see the VIN number.
Yeah. Okay. So
that is the VIN number. Is the prominent. You see one long, about 14 digits,
okay,
something.
That's
you see it. Yeah, you see it there. That is the VIN number. But some of them wouldn't know that. That is the VIN number we are talking about.
Okay, so to you Deltas, this is a very rare privilege information you've gotten, that whenever you're asked to provide your VIN number, don't fret. It's just that long number, I think about 14 number, just like what the HOD ICT just explained. And of course, it is written VIN before the number. So whenever you are asked what is your VIN number, do not fret, just know it's that 14 number. All right, I have another pressing question, and of course, that is now the purpose of this program is to inform and, of course, educate. Now, tell us, what are those common mistakes that are made during this continuous voters registration, and of course, how can they be curbed and reduced to the barest minimum so that the average Delta can get his proper information recorded? Not that I wanted to call matter, but you type matter. What are those common mistakes and how can they be avoided?
Yeah, the common mistakes, like you rightly put it, is that typographical error, human error.
Right.
Those human errors are usually there, and that is why after every phase of the exercise, we do not just assume that every information you give to us is correct.
Okay.
So after that, we do it, we print it, we print what we have done, and we go back to where the exercise was carried out, either the local, we go to the local government offices, we paste everything we have done, and we also come like now and do sensitizing and say, look, we have done the second phase or the first phase. All those things that you do, we have pasted there. Go there and check if your information you gave to us was correctly captured. If it's not correctly captured, we didn't spell your name very well, or the polling unit that we mistakenly or you gave us is not the right thing, or whatever, or maybe you're married and they put single, all those things, it is there. And that is what we do during the claims and objections. Right. The claims, you now come and say, oh, this is not, the information you have about me is wrong, so I want to correct it. Or when, if there's an objection where you find out that, oh, there's a name that was published, this name is the name of a deceased person. Yeah. Then there's an objection, you can't object, say, no, this name is not supposed to be here. Or there's somebody that registered, I know him very well, he's my neighbor, he's not a Nigerian. You make that objection and we'll capture it and we'll do the correction. So these are some of the common errors or mistakes that people repeat. So during the claims and objection, we'll take that window to correct some of those things. Thank you.
All right, thank you. To you, Mrs. Nse, you are the HOD of Voters Education. Tell us, is this process completely free? Because we'll see some people, we'll see a signpost, do your Inec registration here, do your Inec registration, register for your Inec. They abound everywhere. But is this process completely free, or is there a particular fee that Deltas need to pay for them to do their registration?
Thank you very much. Like I said before, and I'm still saying it now, that the exercise is free. We do not take 1 naira from anyone. The 25 local government area offices of Inec is there open, and the registration officers are there, and we have one at the head office here in Asaba. Anybody collecting money to register anyone, that is a fake thing, and it's not what we ask anyone to do. If you go to the right places for the registration, nobody will ask you for anything except you want to do shortcut for yourself. And that is not what INEC asks anyone to do.
Okay, thank you very much. Now to you, Onwa. You are the one at the back end. Tell us, what are the common threats? Definitely, we know a lot of persons would like to tamper with your system in either to boycott some ways, and of course fraudsters, and of course internet fraudsters. What are the challenges you think the INEC is facing in trying to register Nigerians in this ongoing continuous voters registration exercise, and what are those challenges you people are facing from hackers?
Well, for hackers, to a very large extent, we have protected our destiny against hackers.
Okay.
But there are some things you say, you notice that say people placing, you can register here, you can register here. All those things is just the people's ignorance. It's just maybe some of these places are cyber cafe, because they feel you cannot do your online registration. They'll tell you we are registering here. They'll collect money from you and help you do your online registration. Meanwhile, these are things you could do yourself, because they will not even finish it. After that, they'll tell you, go back to Inec and do your capturing. So what they are only being smart to use the ignorance of the people and all that. But that online is what we are just telling everybody. You don't need to pay anybody money. But anybody opening anything, that is the person, you are not paying the money you are paying, you are not paying INEC.
Okay, so tell us, what should someone do if they experience technical difficulties during their online registration? Some persons feel frustrated. They say, I've opened the website several times, and of course it's not popping up, and of course, and they feel, okay, I can't go further again, and of course they give up. What is your advice to those who try to access the website but are unable to?
Yeah, this is a common thing, network outage.
Okay.
It is very, at times you just want to do one thing online and it will be hanging or it's not opening. You want to open a website, it's not just because of either network connectivity. These are major things that you could encounter if the network, and that network is not within our control. So we have service providers that do. There are times your network will be down. You will not be able to. These are some minor things that we could experience if there's a downtime in network connectivity. Apart from that, there are all these other ones are just minor. The major thing is just network issues, and that's why the other time some oscillator will say, I don't have network in my area. But we know when it comes to making calls, there's network almost everywhere. So it's network issue. Apart from network issue, nothing serious. Hackers, our system is very, very fortified against hackers.
Okay. All right. As we try to wrap up this segment, this program rather, what is your advice to Deltans?
Thank you very much. My advice to Deltans is for the stakeholders to calibrate strongly with INEC, to sensitize their words, to educate them too. It's not only INEC that is doing this. We are partnering with a lot of people so that we can get a better result. We should come out and go to their various localities to go and register, so that they can get their permanent voters card and vote for someone of their choice in 2027.
Okay. All right, to you, Honor, what is your final advice to Delta, especially from the ICT angle?
Yeah, my advice is that when you come to the registration center, try as much as possible to conduct yourself in a civil manner. Um, Even if at the point you get there and the network, we use lights, we use network. If you get there at the point and there's no light and the person there is telling you there's no light, or they just be patient with him or her. Probably they're making effort to make sure that the power is on. Or if there's a network outage, which is a general thing, and it tells you to exercise patience, try and exercise patience and know that it is not something he can do on his own. Probably network will come again. Or if the system is down, like there are cases we have had the system that may go down, and it's usually when it does that, it happens generally, and we'll always ask you, please come back tomorrow. There has not been any issue that lasted more than 24 hours that we did not resolve, because we have very competent people at the background. Once we notice anything like that, we could tell you, please come back tomorrow. So if you are told to come back the next day, please be patient enough with the registration officer and just do as he may tell you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, the HOD, Voters Education and Information, Inec Delta State. And thank you very much, the HOD ICT, Inec Delta State. And of course, from me, Henry Stiayo, I just want to let you Deltas know that your voter registration is your civic right and civic responsibility. It is your right to go and register yourself. And why wait until the rush hour? You could do it from the right in the comfort of your home, and of course, then you proceed to the INEC office to do your biometric capture. Do not wait until the final minute before you begin to go and register. Until come your way, same time, same station. It is Voters Education on Delta Television. I remain your host, Henry Osiayi. Bye for now.